And we are back. Gmac and Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Let's get spooky, bro. We're recording on Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know. When did it stop being as awesome as it used to be?
It goes in waves, right? Like you go like you loved it, then you kind of outgrew it, and then you had kids, which was awesome again, and now they're older. So probably it'll go in a wave when you got a grandkid and you want to walk around and see it.
Yeah, I can feel that. Were you ever the one that would stay behind and hand out the candy?
For a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
I would stay back or whatever the deal is. I don't. For the most part, I try to always be there to walk around. But we have a tradition where we get a large cheese pizza from Pizza Star.
Nice.
And then we all eat that at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and then off we go.
It used to be if you went to Pizza Star in costume,
you got a free slice.
Hell
Still
yeah.
is.
Oh,
Still
good.
is.
That's awesome.
Still is, which is pretty cool.
I was never one to be out there bombing and all that shit. My father would have whipped my ass.
Oh, no. That was like a rite of passage in Mount Marion. My dad's like, man, I can't let you go out there with a full can of shaving cream. He put like a nail in the end of the nozzle and then melted it, so it had like pressure. It would shoot like 30 feet. And then my mom basically had a laundry basket on the back step, and she's like, take it all off, and I'd strip down to my underwear, freeze my balls off, throw it all in that basket, and then that would go into the house. The basket would go into the house, and I'd go into the shower, get all the egg off me, whatever else.
Yeah, and we never got into it. Like I said, it was the next morning looking around the house and seeing what shit had to be cleaned off and whatnot.
Yeah. One year I had a cool costume. I was like Oscar the Grouch. It had like it was like a makeshift kind of garbage can thing.
Okay.
And it had basically like suspenders or like a seatbelt type thing.
Cool.
So like I could throw and it was all made out of cardboard, so it was real lightweight. So I could like throw the egg and then duck down in it, and it was like pump, 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 and I was still good.
Deflected. That's awesome.
Yeah, then come back up and chuck them.
You said freeze your ass off. I remember Halloweens where it should have been snowing.
Oh yeah.
And I remember Halloweens where you sweat your balls.
I remember a Halloween where we had like 30 inches of snow the day before.
Right, that's right.
That was like 2011 or 12.
That was a canceled game.
Yeah, canceled playoff game. They just canceled the end of the season. They're like, we can't do it.
Yeah, actually, I remember that because the next day we went out. I'm pretty sure I took Max out as Hulk Hogan that year.
But it got so warm the next day, most of the snow was gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The roads were wet, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can remember
huge snowstorm.
I can remember 70 on Halloween too.
I don't ever remember it being that warm, except when we went to Tennessee. At the time, I was married, so I was the Scarecrow. Jern was Dorothy. Summer was Glenda, and my ex-wife was the Wicked Witch. We went like as a family.
Nice.
And I just remember, the kids being so hot. And one of my favorite pictures of Summer, I wish I could find it, is her in a little Glenda suit with her bag on her lap, just knocked out.
Awesome.
Just knocked out. Yeah, and Jern had, the ruby red shoes and the little dog in the basket.
Were you a pillowcase guy?
Oh, you had to be.
You did, because the other bags ripped.
Yeah, all that shit would fall apart, yeah. Yeah, I was. So
cool.
What else going on?
Tired. Sick and tired.
Yeah.
More of the same shit, all about that. But other than that, good responses. I mean, other than they said that our show should have been sponsored by like fucking Paxil or...
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to enjoy the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was, it was deep, but we're not that today.
We're not. 5 crazy questions is taking kind of like a weird turn. And I think I went more with just 5 questions. But they're questions that elicit good responses.
Yeah.
So we'll see as we go. Our top 5 came up as we were bullshitting on the phone last night talking about video games.
Yeah.
And Ross Chastain's fucking slot car fitting.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So if you're into NASCAR or you're not in NASCAR, doesn't matter. So they were on a half-mile track, which they call a paperclip because it's basically built like a paperclip, real tight. So they'd go like, I don't know, like 70, 80, and then they get down to like 30, 35 in the corners. Well, this guy to make the championship for the last race of the year was in 10th place, and he was trailing, and he had to pass X amount of cars and the guy that he was trailing to get into the playoffs. Well, when they go down into turns 1 and 2, he's in 10th place. The guy's in 5th place, Denny Hamlin. They go down into 3 and I mean, not even close. He's like, I'd say a half a straightaway behind him. They go down into turns 3 and 4. They all go down to 35 miles an hour. Ross Chastain grabs another gear. Like, you'd never go like third, fourth.
Right.
He goes to 5th. Hammers the fucking thing to the floorboard. And it looks, if you watch it, it looks fake.
It does. It looks like a slot car.
He just holds it to the floor and goes around the corner using the wall where everybody slowed down to 30. He held it at like 75 miles an hour. Goes all the way around and passes the guy in the last 100 feet of racetrack by like a nose and gets into the playoff.
Fucking slingshots. Dude, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon coming out of that corner.
It looked...
It was hysterical.
So there's fans accounts now, like on TikTok and stuff, where they got it. And it's so funny to see because it's like everything is in one like speed, and here comes this guy at like 3 times the speed. Well, literally double the speed.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Now, how do you do anything but commend that guy?
Right.
Like, there's people who are like, I think that was kind of dumb. Like, yeah, I mean, why would you like that? And I'm like, dude,
you win.
If here's the thing. If I'm an owner and I thought, man, we had a good run and we almost made it to the championship finale, and then he does that, that's a fucking bonus, bro.
Yeah.
Because you just get... Because think about the money that's going to generate. You're in the final 4, basically. So whoever wins this race or finishes the highest wins the championship.
And dickbags like us all around the country are talking about it today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're super in the fucking news right now. And listen.
And I'm sure his sponsor's really happy.
I'm sure they're flying. It was awesome. But listen, he's a great driver. And
he's your guy, the watermelon kid.
He is my guy. I picked him last year, and he's fun to watch. He won me some money a few times. But he's a good driver. And listen, fuck it. Nothing in the rule says you can't do it.
No, and nor should it.
It's unconventional, but hey.
Nor should it, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Hey, listen, this is how it happens. But
I think
here's the thing.
He's going to tip his body guy some extra money this week.
Yeah. The only thing I can honestly say that it was like, the only thing I can say is like if there would be a quote-unquote rule around, it only worked because it was desperation on the last lap.
Right.
If you did that on lap like fucking 480...
You're destroying your car.
Well, not only that, is it doesn't have the same effect.
Right.
This was last corner, last lap of the last playoff before the final championship.
Do or die.
Do or die. That's what makes it great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what makes it great. So it was really wild. And if you haven't seen it, check it out.
It's fun.
Just look up NASCAR, right. Ross Chastain, Slingshot. Like, they have all kinds of stuff going on.
One of these things is not like the other. You'll pick it up right away.
Oh, immediately. I sent it to you like a couple different angles.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
It was pretty cool.
What else went on this weekend? Anything big?
Weekend, no.
I know we had a winner you learn lesson this week.
Yeah. If you look at the pictures I put up, they have a drive, chance to win, start the only own 22 with like a minute to go.
Right.
And minute 2, no timeouts, and right down the field. He brought him. He went right down the field. They got there. And then, they had a little misfortune in the end zone, and then the ball went over his head on the last snap. So, to get yourself all the way down to be in a position to win and probably could have won that game.
Right.
That's all you can ask for. You know what I mean?
Now, this Saturday, is this the Kingston week?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you hear this on Thursday, Saturday, like 3:30, 4 o'clock at Dietz, and that'll probably be the last thing before Dietz shuts down for like 2 years.
Right.
So it's a pretty big moment.
Has Kingston said where they're going to play their games?
Rondout on Saturday afternoons.
Okay.
So, whatever. Not for nothing, what was once a staple is now like the Oakland Coliseum. You know what I mean?
You're right. It's outdated.
But now, if any of you are listening know what Dietz Stadium is, it was like used to hold the state semifinals all the way up to the Dome. The Dome was always the final. right?
Right.
The final spot. But everything up to the dome used to come through
Dietz,
Kingston at Dietz Stadium because it was like one of the first to ever have turf back when it was like sandy turf that we played on.
Right.
And it had a seating capacity, and it was all just off the thruway, not too far, and all these other things, right? But it's. I mean, now you can look on it, and the lights. There's people that got shadows from like from the middle of their waist up, like the lights aren't pointed right. It looks like shit. But the amount of money they're spending on it, and they just redid the locker rooms, like to hold off, like to get by.
Yeah.
The amount of money they're spending on it doesn't compute with me. They could have taken the visitor side down and put up a brand new one, right, on that side, turf and lights for probably less money than they're doing. Because they're renovating the old. Who cares? That was the home side. That doesn't always have to be the home side. Flip it back to the. Not for nothing, the other side should be the home side because that's like the city of Kingston.
Yeah, facing the stadium.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It's, wow. Kingston going out to run back play on Saturday.
And they're gonna put a video board up and all this that, which is great,
now,
cool. But you should have used the other side.
They've taken these games that Kingston had gotten and brought them down in Middletown, right?
What do you mean?
The section.
Oh yeah, and look what Middletown.
Pollard Field's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I mean, love that field.
Dude, when we played down there, it was like the third or fourth year of it being open. Remember, you had huge video board.
Yeah, state of the art.
And then they took that video board down to put a new one up because they said to maintain it cost almost as much as buying a brand new one. And you know how it is with technology,
right?
By the time you put it up, it's outdated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You buy your laptop, and 3 weeks later, something better.
And you've seen Rond out in the daylight. At night, they got them LED lights. They're amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing.
Actually glow.
Well, if they score a touchdown, the lights go off and back on around the stadium like that.
Oh, no way.
The speakers are phenomenal in there.
Cool.
It's crazy.
Cool.
It's crazy.
Trying to think anything else major this week? Nothing really. Coming up this week, again, this is Halloween. We're going to see Teddy Swim Saturday night.
I don't even know who that is.
Carly started following him on, I want to think Instagram maybe.
Did you get your tickets for Sal the Voice? You better.
I am. I'm going.
You say that, and then you'll be like, oh, there's no tickets left.
Yeah, I should do it this week, shouldn't I?
Because it's November tomorrow, bro.
It is November tomorrow. Wow. Where the fuck?
By the time this comes out, you'll be 2 weeks from the show. You better get them.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You start Christmas shopping yet?
Yeah and no. Like, I have the list. I just got to purchase the two things.
I'm really waiting for Cyber Monday.
I don't even know when is that.
It'll be the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Weren't you with me the one year I had my entire... And I was still married then. It was probably the second year Boston was little. I had the entire Christmas done by like October 15th. It just happened. Toys R Us put out a flyer and everything the girls wanted was in one aisle. Right. I went down, back, and it was all on sale. And it was like, boom, it was all done by probably by Halloween.
Right. I mean, I'm streamlining it this year. I'm not sure what Carly and I are going to do for each other. I think we might just get a new bed.
Be careful what you say to your kids listen to this.
I know. No, and then I've got stuff already.
I know your plan. You told me your plan.
Yeah. On top of that, other than
it's different though. As they get older, it's what do you want?
Really? Other than Hannah and Veda, I'll get them stuff as well. And Carly's taking her kids to Disney next week. That's their birthdays and Christmases combined.
Who's Veda?
That's Max's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
I got to meet her in the hospital.
Okay.
the place
do you call her Darth Veda?
No, she was super sweet girl.
Veda Vey.
She went I have to ask them. They went to Clinton, New York this weekend. They made reservations a couple weeks ago to go to Clinton.
Go to the prison?
That's what my joke was. Don't go to prison. And he started laughing. He's like, no, they were going to go to Cooperstown, Utica, and stay in Clinton. And I think come back yesterday.
Oh, cool. All right, I really got nothing else going on, man.
Well, tell us why our top 5 is this top 5. Tell us about this new game.
Oh, so Modern Warfare 2 came out, which is weird because Modern Warfare 2 was on like PlayStation 3.
Right.
And everybody thinks it's a remake, and it's not. It's like the same guys from them, but in different missions or different parts of that story. I still think it's similar people in different parts of the story that we already played.
Okay. So it'd be like a 2.5 almost.
Kind
Not
of,
really
but
a
like
new sequel.
very modernized.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Pain in the
graphics
ass.
and this. Oh, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, we were sitting there and, you wanted to do Halloween something or this and that. And I'm like, you know what? By the time it comes out, though, we're beyond Halloween.
Right.
We should have done that a week ago. And I was like, after the kind of weeks we've had where the, emotional bullshit that you had 2 weeks ago and then me being super happy last week and up and down. I mean, I thought maybe it would be smarter to just kind of do our top 5 based on the role play. Because since we were kids, we were in we're in this technology boom,
Right.
and you know what I mean. That's just kind of how it
and
is.
They've transformed so much.
And we both are bigger sports game guys.
Right.
So
I had a hard time with this list because I didn't play a lot of them.
Right.
But
I had an easier time. But let's get to it. This week's top 5, the top 5 role-playing games in your personal favorite history.
Again, I had a problem with them.
I have honorable mentions. I'll read them at the end.
Okay. I have 1 or 2 as well. I'll start it off. Number 5. It's the original of original role-playing games. It kind of predates us. A Bard's Tale.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It came out in the late 70s when computers were MS-DOS.
Okay.
And it actually went through the Atari systems.
You mean it wasn't the Oregon Trail?
Right. Well, I thought about that as well, but it didn't come up on any list calling it a role-playing game, so I left it out.
That's weird.
I know.
Because you did. You died of dysentery all the time.
But Bard's Tale made its way eventually onto every console and improved its way.
I just thought of something that kind of fucks us in a way.
What's that?
We should have said console games, because not for nothing, Dungeons and Dragons is probably
the biggest
role-playing game,
as well as Pokemon.
Yeah, is that what they played in Stranger Things, Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, you had a dungeon master or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So but these are video games that we did,
and there were ports of Dungeons and Dragons onto the computers. But it's mainly always stayed with.
It's always been a card game.
39-sided die and all that shit. Yeah. So A Bard's Tale. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. It's like the granddaddy. Okay. It was the RPG before people really knew what RPGs were.
Cool. My number 5, Zelda. It was the first huge world. Now you got to think, everything was side along. It just kind of side scroll. And it would only be you maybe got 8 levels, right? Certain other games, it was there were 8 levels. This was an open world map. You had to craft things, you got swords, you powered up, but you could go anywhere on this map.
Right.
And, once you got there, that was the first thing that started opening the map where you kind of saw it bigger.
Yeah, no, it was
You know what I mean? As opposed to it wasn't shaded over.
Right.
Or shadowy or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of
as you got to it, you got to see it. And then it was this huge map where you had to get on a raft and go across the thing to another little part.
Oh, yeah.
And it was probably one of the first games that, because I played double dribble, ice hockey, baseball, Tecmo Bowl, all that stuff, Tyson's Punch-Out. This was the first game I kind of sat in and was like, wow, I want to beat this.
Right.
And did beat it. And it wasn't easy, but I did beat it.
And what's funny is now, it's showing technology to change. They had him at Target last year at Christmas time. Costello had gotten it for work because it's also an alarm clock, little timer thing on it. But they fit the entire console game into a little handheld unit for $50.
Oh, yeah.
But if you had that gold cartridge,
that was
the shit.
I had it.
That was the shit. And it still
Original
is.
Zelda, yep.
Number 4, I'm going to give it to the Call of Duty series.
Okay.
As a whole. They've done Modern Warfare. They've gone back in time to war, to different wars and different eras. They kind of cover everything.
Yeah.
The one where it was around World War II. That's the one. I can't remember if it was 1949 or it had a year.
1942.
1942. Was the one Call of Duty I actually did get into and play a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the era. But they're prevalent and still probably the top dog today.
Yeah. Like I said, that's how it inspired this. Excuse me. I'm still playing it right now, but it didn't make my top 5.
Okay.
They're all enjoyable. I played most of them. Some of them were, they got a little too crazy with when you could fly, as a person, and you had this glove that would grip. I'm like, we're getting a little too far past what the reality of just warfare is. But they did change the landscape with their, like where everybody could get together and just play for like a 5-minute team deathmatch or whatever.
I just realized I have the ultimate mission.
Well, we'll get to it at the
end.
Number 4 for me, Metal Gear. It was the PlayStation version. You were one guy. You were Snake.
Yep.
And then you had to go through and you could hide in a box. And you go, it had that alarm. But I played a lot of those Metal Gear, Solid, Metal, and it was a big game for me coming out of the Army. This was like something. It was something that was the first game that let me take my mind off of just everyday things and just kind of zip through.
Now, was Snake a prevalent character through the whole series?
Yeah.
It was always staged.
And he gets and he ages as it goes.
That's kind of cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a Rambo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because at the end, he's got like a patch on his eye and he's got super gray hair, and you don't move like you used to.
Yep.
So it's pretty wild.
That is awesome. Number 3, I'm gonna fix my list right now. Since you named Zelda, it's out there already. I'm gonna replace my number 3, which was I had Zelda, with the ultimate omission. I don't know why. GoldenEye.
Yeah. The only game you admitted you could play.
The only one I can play.
You bought the book.
I did. I bought the book. I had to walk through, and it helped me get better playing against other people. It's like the split screen stuff.
Yeah.
But that Bond game for me, that was, to me, I think it stands the test of time. If you fired up an N64 right now, graphically, it's not going to be as good as it was.
No.
It's not going to be as good as today's games, but the gameplay itself, I think, is still going to hold true.
Well, and not only that, is the original, when even the tune comes on, boom, 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 boom. All right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets wound up. Like, there's Gen X dads that are fucking their kids up on that game. Because they get their ass handed to them in Call of Duty, yeah. Number 3 for me, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands and Breakpoint. Wildlands was probably the better of the two games, but huge map, first person thing. You have all these different missions. You go down and take down. Wildlands was cool. You go down and take a Colombia drug lord in Colombia. Like it's legit. Like the salt flats in Colombia.
That's
it's
pretty
all
awesome.
Legit. Really replayable game. You get so immersed in it.
Yeah.
Like there's no, obviously you got here and then the captains or whatever, right? The lord, then the couple captains, but there's no order in which you go and get the underlings.
Really?
Yeah. So you go and torture this one and they give you information that may lead to the guy that's over here. It's not like you just work up. You can work
sideways
until you get to a captain.
That's cool.
And then the captains, it takes you to get all 3 before you get the main.
That's pretty
It's
awesome.
just a pretty wild game.
Now, Tom Clancy, were Ghost Recon, did he have any other series too, or no?
Yeah, he has, oh man, I'm going to fucking forget it right now.
There were a few of them, though, if I can recall.
Yeah.
Was it Rainbow Six?
Yeah, he has Rainbow Six and all that, but there's another Tom Clancy series that, like, Schultes and them guys like.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's called the Division.
Okay.
That's another, like, so their games are kind of like his books, how they have certain characters like the Division. Then he had, the Wildlands and that. So they have a couple. He has a couple games.
Okay.
More than one idea. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like one you're a role playing guy going and hunt drug lords.
Right.
One you're a group of people.
Doing something completely different.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Number 2, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. By far my favorite Castlevania game. It was the first. Now the original was a side scroller.
Yeah.
This stayed side scroller, but it opened up the entire castle, and you can go either direction, side to side.
Yeah.
The story was Alucard is the good guy. It's son of Dracula.
Yeah.
He's been awoken. Now he's going to confront his father. And
Alucard, which is Dracula backwards.
Right. So, which is now he's going to confront his father. They've made this. It originally came out for PlayStation. It's been remade for fucking every console, I think, since PlayStation.
Yeah.
Awesome game. It's spooky. You'll jump at times because shit comes out.
I forgot that.
The music, the setting, the castle, everything about it totally screams Dracula. If you like those kind of movies, that's your game.
Cool. I love the first Castlevania.
It was good stuff.
Yeah. My number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
This game is so authentic that when you're down low on the ground and the season's warm, your balls on your horse hang. And when it gets cold and you go up in the mountains and it's cold, they suck right up to his body. I am dead serious. And if you go up to a horse that like you don't know, that fucking thing will kick you and kill you. Right in the head, and he'll be on your back. I'm dead serious.
Oh my god!
You can be behind a horse, like you're going in front of me, and it's warm, and you're climbing the mountain, and you see his balls just go right up tight to it. Like, look it up on your phone right now.
Who the fuck came up with this?
Just look it up on your phone. Look up Red Dead Redemption.
Horse nuts. Horse
balls, warm or cold. I'm telling you think it's a joke. But not only that, it's a great fucking story. Like that just shows you how in depth it is.
Yeah, no shit.
But it's a great story. It's the graphics are phenomenal. You get like these hunting and fishing things. So even when you beat the whole story, you can go to these different lakes and rivers and try to catch like the legendary, striper bass or whatever, pickerel or some shit like that. I'm not joking, am I?
It's cold there. Them things are sucked way up.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's fucking funny.
You thought I was joking about that, bro.
That is crazy. That is paying attention to every little detail.
Yeah.
Oh my god, That's hysterical.
It's a phenomenal game.
All right, number one for me was Kingdom Hearts. It's a PlayStation game. You started out. I can't remember the kid's name.
Wait a minute, is that like a Disney game?
It is.
Okay.
You go through and you collect all these keys, and what you're essentially doing is replaying the main scenes in all of the Disney movies.
Okay.
So you've got to be Ursula, you've got to beat Jafar, you've got to beat all the villains.
Right,
you
right.
Go through
and then doesn't Mickey pull the sword out?
Right, and then you lock all the worlds, and it's talking about immersive. Talk about the money they must have spent licensing to make this game.
But it was a good game to play, right?
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal game.
And I wonder why they haven't released it now. The original just now.
They may, if you go into I know you can on the Xbox Game Store. You can buy. They did so many offshoots. They did 1, 2, 3. Then they did like 0.5, 2.5, 3.5.
Really?
Which went from the consoles to the handhelds, back to the consoles, and the stories follow all the way through.
Okay.
But if you're a Disney fanatic, it's the game for you.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool. And in non-a-Disney way, my number one, the Grand Theft Auto series.
Yeah, definitely not a Disney way.
And the reason they went number one, now Red Dead Redemption, there's only 2 of them.
Right.
And how it sets up is Red Dead Redemption 1 actually happens after Red Dead Redemption 2. So the prequel came after the original game.
Okay.
Where the graphics are better, the map's bigger, blah, 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 blah.
Now, did they do a zombie
That would have
version?
been, well, there's zombies on it. But this will probably end up taking over. They're made by the same people.
Yeah.
There's just so many more of them. But Grand Theft Auto, I played every one of them.
Yeah.
And I beat every one of them from Miami to New York. Well,
it was a Vice City.
Vice City to Liberty City to San Andreas to Los Santos. You know what I mean? Like, I play them all. And the last one was just so good. You had like a a fucking meth head out in the desert. You know what I mean? And then you had like the guy who robbed this bank and turned like state's evidence. He's up in Beverly Hills. And then you had like a young upstart guy from like the hood in Oakland or something.
Yeah.
So then they end up becoming friends. Yeah. Well, the meth head was on. He was part of the hijacking with the guy that's in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
But he thought he was dead. They told him he was dead.
Okay.
So that's the story. But that's Grand Theft Auto 5. Now I'm waiting for 6. So these games are phenomenal now. The shit you can do. You go to get strippers. You bang a hooker and then you rob her back for your money.
That was the funny thing. And that's what made it so. It was newsworthy because it was the first game that you could do shit like that.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like, everybody wanted to get the game just so they could go freaking bang a hooker in the back of the car.
Now, you know what's funny about that? Now, like Red Dead Redemption 2, now it's basically Grand Theft Auto on horses.
Yeah.
In the Old West. There's quote unquote prostitutes in there or whatever,
right.
But you can't do any of that. You can't do any of that.
Gotcha.
You can't even see boobies in that one. So, but it's a great game. The GTA series is great.
Now you can go up to somebody and jack their horse, right?
Oh, you can steal somebody's horse.
Yeah.
So guys that we're buddies with, Habursky and Kepin and them guys would play at night.
Yeah.
Habursky went to go get a beer, and Kepin and them hogtied him and took his horse and just left him.
That's awesome.
Because you can like when the online play of these things, you can, and that's the difference between where we started. You had to be in the same room,
right?
To now you can create your posse and then go do what you want to do.
Now, do you same thing? Die and respawn? Is that part of it?
Yes, okay. You can die and respawn and the whole deal. But I'm going to tell you right now, we had this conversation, and so GTA is my number one. But we're going to go back to Red Dead Redemption 2 for a minute. We had this conversation at work, a bunch of us, because of something that Boston texted me. My fucking horse died. And I was like, oh, man, I feel so bad for you. Because some people don't care. They go and get whatever horse, and it is what it is. But most of us, me, Leadsack, Wright, we're all distraught over our horse because we kept the same horse through the whole fucking thing. Well, in the actual gameplay, spoiler alert, your horse does die at some point. And then like you play it out.
It just will.
It does, and you do, or whatever.
Gotcha.
But Boston was going by, and somebody threw like a makeshift stick of dynamite and blew up his horse, and he couldn't get it back.
Oh, shit.
So he was like distraught because he had the horse for we're talking you're putting tons of hours into this game.
Yeah.
So he went back and just shot the whole hillbilly. They were all inbred. Whole inbred area.
He went Darth Vader. He took the whole town out.
He just went in and took them all out. Like, hey, sir, how are you? Bah! He just went and fucked them all out. And rightfully so.
Right.
Rightfully so. You don't realize, if you play this game, you get, your horse is your ride or die, bro.
Right. He went savage, took the whole fucking town out.
And then everybody was laughing. They're like, I would have done the same thing. And then Wright was talking about on one of the games he plays, his horse dies and he puts a head marker out for it, you craft a stone for it. And he says anytime he's still playing that game, if he's in the area, he goes over and pays his respects to his horse.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's at the Star David. His has a Star David.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You got any honorable mention? Yeah, it is. It's cool. Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, not that I played them. EverQuest, that was a huge computer world. RPG still is to this day. They have servers that have been up for 20 years running these games.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, same thing. I never played them, but they're up to God knows what number now. And
did you have a stroke?
I did. I had a minor stroke. Would you consider the Mario games role-playing? I know the Mario paper games they considered more role-playing.
Mario's on my list.
Okay. All right. So what do you have for honorables?
This is it's blowing my mind right now because I played this game so much, but I forget. I'm drawing a blank on the name. So my honorable mentions are Super Mario series.
Okay.
Contra, Probably one of the first games I've ever beat like that, where you had to go in the heart and shoot the aliens. And all
Up,
that.
down, down.
Yeah, yep. Left, right, left, right.
Yes.
Double Dragon.
Phenomenal game.
That was a role-playing game.
Way better in the arcades, I think.
Yeah, but Double Dragon 2, so on and so forth. Sonic, he was the Sega's version of Mario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I am drawing a motherfucking blank right now. It is, man, it was like for one of the first games that had puzzles and stuff.
I'll throw this out there. Bogey used to play it, the Halo series, if you were an Xbox
Well, there
guy.
you go. Halos, and there's certain other games. Sands of Time was one of the games we played.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed's another one. Talk for a second. I'm trying to find this.
It's funny. RPGs. Most of them have sequels, and I think that's what makes them stand the test of time and go from system to system to system.
I can't believe I'm not fucking remembering this game. Oh my god!
Metroid would have been considered.
No. It's like a PlayStation game. You go it came on. You go into this mansion, and then you go to this lab, and they're making like zombies in it. Oh, fuck! There's movies about it and everything.
Really?
Yeah. God damn it!
I don't know.
Let's move along. I'll come back to that at some point. But that was a fun one to go through. You ready for your questions?
Absolutely.
All right. Five crazy questions via Winnie.
Yes, sir. Number 1. What was your favorite thing to do as a child that you would love to still be able to do as an adult?
Favorite thing to do as a child that I'd still love to be able to do as an adult? Probably like not like your body style. You know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? Not something that your body would prevent you from doing.
Yeah.
Probably wiffle ball games.
Yeah.
Like that was like an every day of summer type of thing.
Definitely. Or playing people 1-on-1 or 2-on-2.
Or like real summer breaks, like just a summer being a summer. Like you're off for the summer and you just fucking, you go to morning rec and you play wiffle ball and that would probably be the ultimate.
Where are you going? My buddies have to swim.
Yeah, that kind of shit. That would be it.
Okay. Number 2. What are 3 things that really grind your gears?
People that are always late. People that are always late, that just drives me nuts. Where their time's more valuable than yours, and that's a lot to do with like coaching sports and stuff like that. Like everybody should be there at a time, and that's the time. Whatever. That drives me nuts. Fucking terrible slow, terrible drivers. Like people that are never have the courtesy to move it along for people that actually are going to work or whatnot. And probably, I don't know. Like, what are some of yours? Because you're putting it on me on the fly, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Oh, the lotto people.
Well, that's kind of like somebody that impedes, like people that impede your every day,
or just other people's.
Were we having a stroke or did that flash?
No, that flashed.
Okay.
The lotto line when somebody's playing $138 worth of fucking scratch offs, and you just want to pay for your fucking milk and go.
Yeah.
That totally grinds my gears.
Yeah, punctuality, people that impede you, and probably
people that park in more than one space.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're fucking, bro, you're driving a fucking
Hyundai Elantra.
Right.
Get over it.
You don't need 3 spaces for that thing. Nobody wants to hit it. It ain't that special.
Yeah.
You're a tool.
Yeah, those two, and probably people that feel that they're... It's all people related, really.
Right, it usually is.
And probably people that feel that, like, they're more important than the sum of all the parts.
Oh, we know plenty of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And number 3 goes in with number 2.
Okay.
2 of those annoying things that we named will go away forever. The other one will occur every single day for the rest of your life. Which 2 go and what stays? So you got to be able to tolerate one, but you can pick 2 to go.
Wow. Well, it'll be how it affects me, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be how it affects you.
Sure.
So I don't want people impeding, because think about it. Anywhere you go, wherever you go for the rest, like if that's how it's gonna be
Right.
for the rest of your life, if you go, there's not gonna be traffic. You're gonna have people fucking turning left from the white line, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll never happen again. So that one's going.
Okay.
And then probably the other one where people think they're better than the sum of all the parts.
Okay.
Yeah, because realistically, somebody being late, it's only when it affects you directly.
Right. Right. So, all right. And those are two, like you said, they affect not only you, but everybody around you
Right.
as well. So,
yep.
All right, number 4. If you were held at gunpoint and told that if you didn't impress them with your dance moves, you'd be killed, what dance move would you bust out?
Oh, dude.
This totally came out of your saying that like you would dance more. So what would it be?
Oh, dude, easy. You'd have to hit Clarence Carter. I'd be stroking.
Okay.
And then I would just have to go out there and do my fucking. You've seen it done before, I believe.
They do the shopping cart, the lawnmower.
No. There's no move. It's just the Gmac, bro.
It's just the Gmac?
Yeah, you kind of go out there and you put your hands up like a Travolta, but both of them. And then you just do the old fucking grind.
All right.
And not for nothing, being a white boy that I am from New York in a very white town.
Yes.
When I went to the Army, black girls liked me for the first time ever. And that threw me. I didn't understand. It wasn't that way. So it would be funny. We'd be in pretty much an all black club, and I'd be the white guy, and my buddy would put on Clarence Carter. I'd be stroking.
Snowflake.
And he was an older guy, and I'd go out there and I'd do that, and I'd literally look like John Travolta. I'd put the hands up, and then I'd start doing that, and next thing you know, they really had their hands on their floor backing it up.
Oh shit!
But it was fun, you know what I mean? I had a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And number 5, where was the most inappropriate or most embarrassing place you've ever farted?
Well, this is funny because I've been meaning to ask you about this on the air.
Okay.
None of us did it. Do you remember when the deaf lady farted in front of us at somebody's confirmation, Chris's?
Yes. Oh, in the church.
We could not
up in
stop
East Bumfuck,
laughing.
The church in East Bumfuck.
Yeah.
We almost had to walk out of the church to fucking get under
It was
control.
like Beavis and Butthead when they couldn't say penis.
Oh my God.
Remember?
Yes.
Fucking crying, laughing. And I look at you and you, it was so loud. And immediately I look at you and you go, and I'm like, it wasn't me. It wasn't Max. And then the old lady in front of us turned to us and she's like, she's deaf. It was her.
Oh, it was so fucking funny. Oh my God.
Yeah. That was probably one of the fucking hardest I've laughed in the last 15 years, probably.
But because you're trying to contain it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so
and
bad.
It was so loud, bro.
Yeah.
It was like she couldn't hear it. It was the loudest fucking thing. It was like hardwood.
It was sitting on a damn church pew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was stone silent in there when she did it. And immediately I'm like, what the fuck did you do? That was probably if I had done that, that would be the worst.
That would be the worst.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I very rarely get embarrassed by him or anything like that. I think one time I went to get up or something somewhere and it was like, in it was in front of people,
right?
And that was probably it. You know, getting up somewhere at a restaurant and
well, you're good at passing them off to the person next to you.
Yeah. What you do, man?
Summer, what?
Yeah. Taki's Pizza. She'll always say that when we drive by there. Remember the time before?
That's awesome.
So,
all right, there's my top 5.
Yeah, not bad. They were pretty good.
What you got?
They were pretty good. Over and under this week brought to you by Gmac.
All right.
All right, number 1. Apricots.
Over. Hate fucking apricots, dude.
So can you buy
only
it?
if they come dried in the.
Well, that's my question. I've never eaten an apricot like
as itself.
but when they're that's what I'm talking about, like in a bag.
Yeah, that's the one that I push them to the side.
Oh, I love them.
Do you really?
Underrated.
Oh, really? Okay, I feel like they're fuzzy. They're weird.
They're a little chewy. It's kind of like the dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that, or something like that.
Fig.
Fig, yeah. But apricots, I had them yesterday, and man, they give me the Bee Gees though. They taste so good, and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh
really?
God, Lord, yeah,
yeah. Don't go to the diner then.
No. All right, number 2, pancakes.
Oh, way underrated. Love pancakes.
Oh, way overrated for me.
Really?
I'm not a pancake person. I'd rather have French toast.
Wow. Okay. See, I'll do a pancake for dinner on occasion.
Yeah, I'm not a pancake guy.
French toast? Yeah, I can do French toast, but I don't know.
Yeah, flapjack. I mean, I get it, but I've never been a pancake person.
Now, if and when you do order pancakes, is it straight pancakes or will you get like banana walnut or?
Well, I would do banana
chip?
walnut, and but the thing is, I had apple cinnamon pancakes yesterday.
Okay.
I'm like, damn, that looks good. Then I got them. I ate about 3 bites, and I'm like, it's a fucking pancake. I'm not. So I spent way too much on them and didn't really eat them. So.
And I don't, for as much as I like pancakes, I don't really care for syrup that much.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, kind of just dry or with butter.
God.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's terrible.
It's not a big syrup guy.
Yeah, like French toast, man. Anything has tons of syrup.
French toast, I'll put syrup on. Pancakes, for whatever reason, I prefer them kind of like dry.
Have you ever had my eggnog French toast?
I have not, but that sounds really good.
Yeah. Did you just unplug the computer and the board?
I don't think so.
I think you did.
Oh, we're good.
All right. Number 3, cruising around to music.
Underrated.
Now, a lot of people don't just taking like the old Sunday drive with the radio on, just kind of cruising.
Oh, super underrated.
Sightseeing, bullshitting.
Yep.
I agree. Highly, highly underrated.
Yep.
That's some of the best clear your mind type stuff
to
have go on.
Or if you got a good playlist and you know it.
Yeah.
And you just hit play and you're fucking off. And it makes long drives so much more tolerable.
Yeah. And we're not talking like where you're going to a destination. I'm talking about where you're just kind of bombing around town. Just cruising.
Yep.
Here's one for you though. Have you not on a playlist? Have you ever had your radio talk to you, basically?
Like all the songs that were coming on were like relevant.
Where you're going through some shit, and all of a sudden they're like, "Only the lonely." Yep. You're like, "What the fuck?"
Followed by fucking some Alanis Morissette.
Jump off the bridge. No, but seriously, like some shit like that. You get in there and you're like, you just feel some sort of way, and then Heartbreaker comes on. You know what I mean? Whatever.
You're cursing the DJ out because you're crying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happened. But no, totally underrated.
Cruising around, and that comes from my cruised around probably like 4 hours with my son yesterday, just kind of
chilling.
He had the playlist, and it was a lot of shit that I knew, which is amazing because he had a lot of old stuff on there, but it was pretty cool. All right, number 4, sound machines.
I don't have one. Honeycletus does. To me, overrated. Because I could make you.
Well, this could technically be a sound machine,
right? But I mean, you use it for. I'm thinking like the things you put on when you go to sleep.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, I could download an app and do the same thing.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say overrated.
Okay, so in my normal life, I'd say overrated. I don't use them. I don't deal with them. When I worked overnights, the most underrated thing next to an air conditioner and blackout blinds you could find.
Yeah. To me that's the floor fan.
Right. Well, you need a constant.
I need some kind of white noise.
Yeah. Which they say if you can find brown noise, there's new stuff called brown noise.
I make a lot of brown noise.
No, you do. That's mud noise.
That is mud noise.
No, but there's this new stuff called brown noise that they say is like way better for you sleeping.
Really?
It must kind of, remember those bears when we were little? Or maybe not little, but remember those bears they'd have for our kids? You turn it on and it sounded like a heartbeat. It sounded like the womb.
Yes.
That kind of thing?
Yeah.
That's I guess what this brown noise is. It's very reminiscent of when you were in the womb.
That's kind of weird. I'll give it a try.
You must be like shit. It must be like wired for something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
All right, and number 5. So you said overrated on.
I did.
Yeah. Okay, number 5, crossword puzzles / Sudoku puzzles.
Way overrated. I can't.
Really?
I can't do Sudoku.
What?
I don't know how to figure it out.
Oh my god, I'm disappointed in you, bro.
Numbers can't.
We're on the opposite on all of these today.
I'll do a crossword puzzle, but
so for me, again, when I worked overnights,
right,
crossword puzzles, it keeps your mind sharp.
Yeah,
and I like missing them. I miss them because, especially as we get older, you need things to kind of keep you
stimulated.
Well, here's the other thing. I can't think of the name of the game that I want to tell you about right now. That's been in the back of my mind since we ended the segment.
Right.
But if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing as you get older. So you try to keep, all these different words and different phrases and whatnot for it. But yeah, I say highly underrated.
What about reading books?
Love them. Underrated.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Underrated.
Yeah. And I'd rather hold it in my hand and read it than like whatever, a Nook or whatever.
Do you stay to a specific kind of genre or?
David Baldacci, a lot of like cop / like mystery, not mystery, but like, there's a cop case or something like that.
Right.
Big Harry Potter book guy.
Of course.
But that's the only kind of those books I'll read is just that series.
Yeah.
But a lot of David Baldacci, some Tom Clancy books, a lot of sports books. I like a lot of sports history books.
Yeah, that's me. It's biographies and sports histories where.
I like it. One of the song we came into today from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I read that guy Anthony Kiedis' book.
Yeah.
And I think I've told you this before. I like their music, but man, that guy's a fucking dick. After I read his book, I'm like, I hate the fact that I like his music.
He's that much of an asshole?
He's a scumbag, is what he is. Or at least he openly admits he's a scumbag. Like, he talks about getting women that he was dating hooked on fucking drugs and shit like that.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, and like he always had like an escape. He always had like an excuse for it. So it's like certain mentality I can't stand, and that's one of them
for sure.
Yeah. So
all right,
that was the over under for this week.
Very solid.
Now you got some no cap, right?
I do.
We don't have music for this.
All right, so
you want to sing something? You can.
No, go right into cap and no cap. Right. Statement number 1: candy corns are a great Halloween candy.
No cap.
Oh, you do like them?
Yeah.
See, very few people like candy corn.
Candy corn, and this is it. You probably got like a week or two to really enjoy them, and then they kind of hang around through to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you'll see the pumpkins. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few that does like candy corn, but I know people that absolutely fucking detest them. Like
you also like fucking circus peanuts.
Love circus peanuts. My favorite of all time. I know that is so low on everybody's list.
I don't mind them, but I never thought they tasted like bananas.
I will search them out.
Orange peanuts that taste like bananas.
Go figure.
Yeah.
3 things, all completely different.
Yeah.
Number 2, the Giants and Jets both make the playoffs.
Cap.
Agreed. Who's not making it?
Neither.
You really think that?
I think there's a good chance neither. If I'm going to, if you're being honest, mm-hmm. I think both could, but I also think both probably won't.
Yeah, and watching yesterday's games, cursing out Zach Wilson, watching him make fucking stupid plays that will kill your season.
Stuff where you try to do too much.
Right. And where the Giants come into this whole thing, and I think they could make the playoffs and probably will, but I don't think they're going to go far, is Daniel Jones does not have a lot around him.
No. He's on the run all the time.
Right.
Nobody to throw to. You know what the Giants remind me of in like crossing up? They remind me of the Yankees. They're winning they just stay close. They kind of pull it together, but they're not built for a long run. Like,
right.
Like
there's nobody.
If they make it, it's going to be. If you shut down Barkley.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones will run but I do think that kid's earned a contract.
Absolutely, and I think for any Giant fans, we know a lot of them who used to shit on Eli, left and right. This kid's doing a lot with nothing around, with nothing.
Now,
name a wide receiver.
Charlie had a pretty good, he had a pretty good thought. He said, whatever they traded to get the second and third round pick, he thinks they're going to take that and then try and get trade for a receiver because I think isn't the trade
deadline is this coming up? This
Tuesday?
Next. Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna need to do something.
Yeah,
they traded.
And not for nothing. At week 8, people are out of the playoffs already, and they only got a year left on a guy's contract after this year.
Yeah.
You can move off of some stuff.
Right. And where does OBJ sit?
I wouldn't bring that guy back.
I think
he's a problem child.
He is, but he fit in good with the Rams last year.
Yeah, but
he can make a run with a team like that again later on. I think he signs on with a team that's going to be elevated going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
but I mean, they need to find.
He's not a number one anymore.
No, he's not. He's not.
And they need a number one.
They do.
If they get a true number one, then the other guys will get they'll get open because. Now, you're not going to roll coverage to a bad guy.
Exactly. Now you're going to double cover somebody or favor one side of the field.
Right.
These lesser known wideouts will start to shine, but you can't. They're not going to win with Sterling Shepard as their number one receiver.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on this, and it happens. Do you think there's certain times that you play your offense to the short side of the field?
Yeah, because I think you can set something up off of it.
Right. I, personally, there's times I'd prefer to run to a short side. Power to the short side. I don't know why they don't do it.
Right.
They always run power to the wide side. That has to be like space plays.
You need your horses. You need your strong, your power horses to the short side because it gives them. You want them to build a lane for your guy to go to.
Right.
And that's what you're going to do. When you get too spread out, I think it takes the effect of power running away.
Right. Your space plays go to the wide side.
Right.
So there's a play we run, that they run, and you've seen it,
sure.
Shiree.
Yeah.
I think that should be to the short side.
Yeah, I can totally see why.
And I think if you take the one guy and you drag him, now you got a short side of the field. I think you just now it could be both ways. You got the wide area and getting the ball in the open space. I get that, but I think there's something to be said about him on the short side. Because if they start looking for it, they put 3 or 4 guys over there. Now he's got to go through 4.
Right.
They're not going to think he's going to wheel out to the other side.
Exactly. And the other thing too is you take out the unnecessary cutbacks. You got to be north to south on the short side.
Yeah. Yep.
And you get a guy who looks to fucking stutter step too much in a wide open field. I've seen those plays get blown up.
Yeah, because they're looking for a cutback instead of just putting their foot in the ground.
Exactly, and those other plays always go for 5, 6, 10, 12 yards. So,
all right, what's next?
Next one. All the pole boxing matches are rigged.
Yes, to a degree.
Cap.
So no cap.
No cap.
So what I think is every person he fights, Jake Paul or Logan Paul or whatever, they're handpicked. And I'm not saying that these kids aren't athletic and they're not talented. They are.
Right.
But you fought a 47-year-old non-knockout artist in Anderson Silva. Now Anderson Silva has some knockouts, but they were by his feet.
Sure.
And they were by his knees.
Right.
Very rarely did he knock somebody out with his hands. So, and he put it on him. Like the scoring that I saw compared to the fight that I watched didn't even line up.
They gave him rounds early. They gave
him like 2 rounds, and I'm like, going. So the way I scored the fight, honestly, is 40 and 36. 76, 74 because of a 10-8 round.
Yeah, for the knockdown.
Or 76, 75 because instead of being like a draw, I had him about 4 rounds apiece, but he got the 10-8 knockdown.
Right.
That's how I really saw it.
Right.
Like, he did more work. He had him backed in the corner. He hit him with some uppercuts. Jake Paul just kept looking for that overhand right, just the right. And I didn't see it, but I didn't see the score being the way they had it, like 78, 73 or something. I'm like, I don't see that.
They gave him too much early on.
Yeah.
When he wasn't really doing anything.
Nothing.
Listen, neither was Silva, but he was...
but I don't say he wasn't.
Active.
He was cutting the ring off. He was
active
engaging
defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his head movement was good. He was evading whatever punches he threw.
Yeah.
Yet, because maybe he didn't throw as many punches they gave him around, it didn't make any sense.
But he always handpicks people that he's way bigger than.
Do you think the knockdown was legit?
Yeah.
He caught him flush.
He caught him.
Yeah.
But he was right back.
Oh, he hopped up.
Yeah. The thing is it's age, it's styles. Like, he handpicks his people.
Right.
A true 185-pound guy or 200-pound guy that cuts to 185 that boxes all the time, I think would fuck him up.
Yeah.
And I can't blame the kid. He's a good promoter.
Right.
But he is kind of a dick.
And he grabs noteworthy names.
Yeah.
To where you're going to be like, well, all right, I want to see this guy.
Like, they're like Tyron Woodley. Yeah, but Woodley in a cage is a lot different. And Woodley, whatever happened to Tyron Woodley, he was a bad motherfucker and then just off a cliff.
Fell off, yep.
Completely.
Immediately. Not a gradual decline.
No.
Just didn't have it.
Just all of a sudden, boom, gone.
Yeah. All right, number 4. Ordering Italian food at a diner is weird.
Cap.
Yeah, I don't understand.
A diner's a diner, bro.
Right. Now, there's one exception I'll make, and this is, I had to try to believe it. The penne alla vodka from the Kings Valley Diner is slamming. But I've never seen people order, like, spaghetti or chicken parm or...
I order chicken parm from the diner.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You think it's good and it's all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I say cap. So that's a lie, that ordering it.
Oh, no, I'm going with the... I just don't do it. I don't think it's weird.
You think it's weird.
I do think it's weird.
So you're saying no cap.
I'm going to say no cap.
Yeah, I say cap.
Okay.
That's a lie. I think it's... Dude, the reason I say that is diners, they can make everything.
Yeah.
Like they have pasta night at the Village Diner. It's one of the nights, whatever. And like you said, the whatever chicken alla vodka.
Penne alla vodka, yeah.
Well, they call it chicken alla vodka because
you get the chicken with it.
Yeah. But some of the better chicken parm I've had chicken parm that's better at a diner than some of the places that are Italian places here.
Okay. All right. And number 5, Taco Bell Wild Delicious is really not Mexican food. In name only.
That's a cat, bro. It's Mexican food. Can you get a burger on the menu there?
I don't think so.
No, you get tacos and quesadillas and.
But I mean, does it stand the test of time next to something you would get from El Rancho?
I don't know, man. The shredded chicken burritos, when they used to have them, were probably better than anything else.
All right. So
listen, here's the thing, right? If you you want tacos, you're going to Taco Bell. You're not going to Casa Verde or whatever.
No.
Even though you want to,
right?
You're going to Taco Bell.
Probably.
It's still Mexican food, bro.
All right.
So, is it like authentic? Like, but I don't know that they're authentic.
Yeah.
How many Italian pizza places have you been in that they were all Mexicans?
Oh, most of them.
But I'm just saying,
a good majority of.
That's how it works.
Yeah, you're right.
You go and you get Polish sausage somewhere, and it's a bunch of fucking Irish guys. So you know what I mean? It doesn't.
All right. So
that's why I say that's a cap.
Okay.
That it is Mexican food. Can't order anything else off the menu.
You can't. Nothing. All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Cap, no cap.
Yep.
Cool. I still can't think of the name of that game.
3 a.m. You're gonna sit straight up in bed.
People are probably like, "Oh my God, it's this Resident Evil."
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
All right. Oh, you said zombies and shit.
Yeah, Resident Evil. That was probably one of the first games I've ever played that had like a map. Probably the first jump scare kind of thing.
The horrible noises.
You're walking down the hall, and all of a sudden 2 Doberman pinchers jump through the window at you. oh, dude, scared the shit out of me. Remote went. I'm like, ah. Because like 2 a.m, you're playing this thing. Yeah, so.
Jumped.
Yeah. What's the week ahead look like?
Nothing really. I mean, more of the same. Looking forward to Saturday afternoon when I go to the game.
Yeah. It was a little brick this morning, bro.
It was a little brick this morning. It was in the high 20s.
Yeah.
Windows were closed.
Yeah.
They got closed about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was a little fucking cold.
Yeah.
No, that's really it. What about you?
Nah, not much.
I go see the Roto Rooter guy on Friday.
Yeah.
I had a call there when we're done here to see if I'm actually getting Roto Rooter or just a console.
Maybe, y'all, dude, how funny will it be? Like, they put in like one of them, the things like you see in the dryer vents.
Yeah. God, don't scare me. At least I'm out for it, right?
And you're just like, no, they keep you awake for that.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
No
they
way.
keep you right up awake.
Not doing it.
Bend you over, spread your cheeks, and then they rip it right up. Pull out a couple polyps of this or that, and rip your.
I'm gonna go in there and this guy's gonna have hands like fucking Shaq.
Yeah. Yep.
You're doing well
Super Bowl ring on them and shit.
on each finger.
Yeah. Play with Tom Brady back there, man. This is my only hand to use.
Yo, have you seen the dude on TikTok that has like the abnormally large forearms and hands?
No.
It's definitely like an elephantitis type thing.
Yeah.
Like a can of soda looks like if I was holding my can of dip.
Really?
In this dude's hand. Ridiculous.
So is he a small guy, but he's got like really big forearms? I may have seen him before. Yeah.
It looks so weird. I feel
And
bad
he's
for
like-
the guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He just gives like little weird points of, I don't know, little weird odd facts of knowledge, and he just keeps it going. But the whole center of the video,
He's
is
probably
just,
like, God damn it, man!
yeah.
I have to have the big hand and not the big.
His girlfriend, those fingers are going nowhere near me.
Yeah. Well, it's probably better. The size and length.
So
I'm good, buddy.
yeah, nothing major this week.
No, last game of the year. We did a pizza party to finish up last week, which was cool. And but this week is last game of the year. Rolling through, and then it's November, man. So Thanksgiving's get out there and vote. Because by the time this comes out, we won't record again until after Election Day. I'm very big on people going to vote.
Right.
Whatever it is, that's your right. Go vote.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, don't bitch. I don't want to hear your mouth. Go out there and vote. It makes a difference. Whatever party it is, that is whatever. Me personally, I would imagine that the Outlaw Blitz show is behind Lee Zeldin.
I think so.
Yep, we're gonna just put our we're gonna endorse Lee Zeldin right there.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
And
Not
yeah,
Ryan.
and yeah, nope, and Molinaro, we're definitely behind Mark Molinaro.
Yep. Good dude too.
Yeah,
really good dude.
So yeah, I mean, you got to get out there and vote. These things matter. If anything, I don't mean to turn it that way, but if anything, we can't have more of what we've had the last 2 years.
No, not at all.
We're driving off a fucking cliff right now, and we got to get it back straightened up.
Somebody's that 2x4 is wedged on the gas pedal under the dash. That thing is floored in the wrong direction.
And meanwhile, you're basically taped and handcuffed to the chair, just watching yourself drive off a cliff.
Yeah,
with your eyes pinned open.
Yep.
And go on to bearfinder.com and vote for Big Gay Sal as your favorite bear.
That's right. Oh,
I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if any of that's true. If there's really something called Bear Finder, I'm going to be fucking shocked, but I'm not going to be shocked if Sal's on it.
If he's not on it, I've got enough pictures.
If he's not the front guy, like the opening segment guy
if he's not, I've got enough pictures from over the years that we're making a profile.
Yeah, we have to.
Outlaw Blitz sponsor profile for Big Gay Sal.
Big Gay Sal. All right, bud, take us home.
All right, for Gmac, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as always, take it easy.